The refueling worker had just sat down to enjoy his favorite potato chips when he suddenly heard a strange sound behind the grass. Curious, he was ready to go up and discover what was happening, but the scene in front of him frightened him. The refueling worker tried to turn around and run away when an unknown creature jumped on him. Before he had a chance to see the creature clearly, the poor refueling worker attendant was already killed. At the same time, a car was heading to the gas station, but on the way, two robbers stopped the car. The couple was taken hostage and drove on in the car, and so they drove into the night. Suddenly there was a violent crash. The car seemed to hit something. Several people got out of the car to check and found that the tires were scrapped on the spot. But while changing the spare tire, Dennis was stabbed in the finger with spikes. He pulled out the spikes in pain, then leaned down and found that the tires were covered with the same spikes. This is the thing that punctured the tire. The other two followed the blood trail and found the culprit. It was a strange creature. His body was covered with spikes. Seth thought it was a hedgehog. As a biologist, he was instantly intrigued. But just as he was about to get up close and personal, the thing moved. What a powerful life force. Suddenly, the thing attacked Seth. The two men were terrified. Lacey fired several shots and then ran back quickly. Others were frightened by their panic. They drove off in a hurry and left the area, but they didn't know the spikes on the replaced tires were growing at an alarming rate. They didn't take long to reach the gas station, ready to refuel the car. They didn't see the gas man. The convenience store was also empty. Lacey wanted to go to the bathroom, but the toilet door could not be pushed, and it seemed to be blocked by something inside. She managed to push the door open but found a horrible scene. To see a man with spikes lying there, he was the refueling worker who was killed during the day. Lacey was so scared that she ran away and told everyone about it, but Dennis didn't believe it at first, until the spiky zombie appeared in front of them. Only then did they realize that something was wrong. Lacey was pounced on the spot. Dennis immediately opened fire. The rest of the group took the opportunity to hide in the supermarket and locked the door behind them. Although the zombie was knocked down, Lacey was infected. Dennis was grief-stricken. Holly wanted to call for help, but Dennis disagreed and slammed the phone to the ground. After all, he is a robber. He will probably be arrested by then. When Polly didn't listen, Dennis hit her to destroy the evidence. He is also preparing to take away the surveillance tapes. Just then, Dennis was surprised to find Lacey still alive. So he asked Seth to help him keep an eye on the zombie on the hood of the car. Then he walked out cautiously and dragged Lacey back. But as he was about to enter the supermarket, he found Polly locked the door. This is obviously the best chance to get rid of the robbers. A furious Dennis raised his pistol, completely unaware that Lacey was mutating behind him. That's when Lacey attacked Dennis. At the critical moment, Seth opens the door and saves Dennis, but a severed hand was brought in with him. It could move independently of the body. This immediately aroused Seth's curiosity. Dennis saw the situation and immediately used something to hold it down. Lacey stood up again. She kept hitting the glass in a strange position, fearing the glass would break. They hid inside the warehouse and prepared to leave the gas station through the back door, but they removed the door and found that there was also a steel door outside. At that moment, the sound of crashing suddenly stopped. The zombies seemed to have run to the roof. They wanted to take the opportunity to leave, but when they turned around, they found a policeman at the door. Looking at the blood outside, the policeman mistook them for robbery. The couple tried to explain and told her to hurry back to the car, and told her there was something scary out there, but she didn't believe it at all. Just as police were about to call for backup, a zombie suddenly flashed from the roof of the building. The falling spikes hit the police officer's face. Before the police could react, they were dragged away by zombies on the spot. Hope turned to despair, and the three of them completely collapsed. Dennis' finger, pierced by the spikes, was slowly mutating, but he chose to conceal it. When they didn't know what to do, Seth thought of the police walkie-talkie, so he immediately took action. He made a simple hook from a coat hanger. Once he got the walkie-talkie, he could call for help from other police officers, but just as he was about to hook it up, he realized it was not long enough. Dennis saw the situation and immediately went to get other hangers, but his hand also started to seize at this time. Polly asked him what had happened, but he said the coat hanger cut him accidentally. With Dennis' hanger, Seth was able to hook up the walkie-talkie. He was about to get it, but then an accident happened. A walker suddenly fell from the sky and hit the wire of the walkie-talkie. Good thing Seth pulled so hard to hold it, but he pulled so hard that he ripped the walkie-talkie off. The zombie's hand came through the window. Polly hit him with a bat. Seeing that nothing could be done, the two of them immediately hid. But the zombie was smart enough to split his arm and land inside the supermarket. Two people heard the sound suddenly stop, thinking the zombie had left. But when Polly looked out, the split hand had come over. The two were paralyzed with fear and could only temporarily use the iron frame to block the attack. Dennis poked his head out of the freezer at the critical moment and told the two to hurry inside, Polly to go first. Seth kicked it out and went into the freezer. They thought the crisis was over, but Dennis' hand started to seize up again. When they saw the scene, they realized Dennis had already been infected. His hand kept growing spikes, and his fingers were twisted. The whole arm was folded 360 degrees. In pain, Dennis realized that the only way to stop the spread of the virus was to cut off his arm. The two men scanned the circle and only found a pocket knife. But just as he was about to do so, he completely lost consciousness because of the pain. Helpless, the couple can only help him to do. After a bout of pain, Dennis lost his left arm forever. Fortunately, his life was saved. Facing the two lifesavers, Dennis told his past story. He was a former prisoner. He accidentally shot and killed a prison guard while escaping prison. He never thought it would lead to death. Since then, Dennis has been in a deep state of remorse. He found out that the guard's wife had moved to Mexico. He and his girlfriend planned to bring some money to visit, but the car broke down halfway. On the way, he met Seth and Polly passing by, so they chose to carjack. Looks like Dennis is not a bad guy. After a long time, it became unusually quiet outside. The zombies seemed to have given up on them. The three went outside and found that the arm had also disappeared. Looking at the thermometer on the side, Seth ventured a guess. Could it be because they were hiding in the freezer, and the body temperature dropped so the zombies couldn't see them? Because at the very beginning, when the zombie was seen, the zombie did not pounce on him but on the hood of the car. To test this suspicion, Seth decided to try it himself. They went to the freezer and started cooling Seth's body with ice. When the temperature reached the limit the body could stand, Seth was ready to go to the police car and radio for help. Before the action, Polly threw a firework outside. When the zombies were attracted, Seth took the opportunity to walk out, but his body was too stiff, and his speed became very slow. Polly had to keep using fireworks to stall for a while. Finally, he managed to reach the police car, but he was about to use the walkie-talkie to call for help when he realized that his body temperature was gradually rising. The two people in the house also found that the zombie had disappeared. The next second, the zombie suddenly appeared next to the police car and attacked Seth inside the vehicle. Dennis came out of the supermarket with fireworks to lure the zombies away. However, he did not expect the fireworks thrown out go out. The zombies jumped him, and Dennis immediately returned, but the speed of the zombie was very fast. When he walked in, the zombies came in too. Luckily, Lacey helped him get up on time. The two of them hid in the fridge together. However, the zombie kept banging on the refrigerator door. When they didn't know what to do, outside Seth appeared with a shotgun from the police car. He fired several shots and missed, but it gave them time to escape. Dennis took the shotgun and told them to go first while he stayed behind, but the zombie's life force was too strong, and Dennis couldn't finish them with a few shots in a row. As he was changing bullets, he was accidentally stabbed by a zombie. Dennis could only retreat outside and rush to change the shotgun with bullets. At this time, the zombie also chased out. Looking at him right next to the gas pump, Dennis pulled the trigger decisively. It seems that fire attacks work better than guns. After an explosion, the zombie died completely. The two men about to leave saw Dennis on the ground and immediately went to check on him. Zombies have already infected him. Dennis knew he was about to mutate, so he gave them the pendant on his chest. It was the key to getting the money and the address of the policeman's wife. He wanted the two of them to help him fulfill that wish. They both promised him. Watching them safely leave, Dennis decisively shot the gas tank. The gas station burst into flames. At the end of the film, the two survivors walked on the way and lived happily ever after. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.